Just give us a rundown of the morning's work.
We had a big scrimmage in the stadium today. Disappointed in the in what normally happens in a first scrimmage. A bunch of false starts, some silly penalties, a bunch of drop passes, missed assignments, that type of stuff. And, you always, you see that a lot early, which I guess as coaches talk, it's good we have a lot of time to get all that stuff fixed. But and you kind of expect it from a young team, but I was hoping to see us perform at a little higher level than that. But overall, there's some things we have to work on. I think they did a good job getting some better pass rush today. From the defensive line, I thought that was good. I thought the O-line, we came off the ball, ran the ball very well today. So those are positives that we got out of it.
Much as you didn't like seeing things like that, is it good to be able to, you can take it and throw it to a veteran quarterback and lineman and guys and say, we still got to focus on the basics and get it right?
Well, yeah, but they have to make sure everybody's doing it that way. You know what I mean? It's the older guys making sure that they set that bar extremely, extremely high for all the young guys. And when the young guys do it, of making sure that they're making sure it doesn't happen again, getting them prepared for game day. And but again, that's our first scrimmage. We'll have another big one about a week from now, and after that one, then you're kind of getting into game mode at that point.
Well, then a bunch of new starters at corner and receiver. How did that matchup kind of play out today?
We'll watch it on film. You know what I mean? Some of it's hard because there's so many guys. You get guys with an MA if corner rolls the wrong way, but you don't see much of matchup. It's just receivers running wide open, and if a guy runs the wrong route, then you got three guys running into each other, and it looks a mess. So just a lot of things, a lot of learning those guys have to do to get ready to play. We've thrown a lot at them. We haven't babied them. We've expected them to keep up. Our installation is the same pace this year as it was last year with all the veteran players at those positions. So they just have to, the people that grasp it the most are the ones that are going to play.
Just being in the stadium, I guess, for a lot of the freshmen, and just how did they kind of, eyes wide open?
Well, you know what? It's a good learning experience for them, and it's different. When you get in there, it's not like a practice. You've kind of been in a practice routine. You get in a scrimmage routine. You're going to take some reps. You might take some time off. Then there's a kicking game. You got to, get a little bit more of that game mindset. But, anytime we go in there, we expect their level of play to be much, much higher. And, I think it reminds them how close we are to the kickoff of the season.
Can you talk about Joe Morrow and his progression from last year to this fall?
Well, yeah, he's got a long way to go, but he has to because there's when all those guys walk out the door. I think you look. I didn't. I guess I don't count the exact numbers, but we don't have a lot of returning receptions this year. Career receptions aren't coming back. If you combine Joe and Rojo and Jamie on, I don't even know if you'll get 50. Career receptions coming back. So, they have huge shoes to fill. Now, they're the guy. They're not the guy that, can come in and develop. They're the guy that has to set the standard for the young guys. And, and Joe's been working at that. I think this is probably the best camp he's had. I know, I think, the perception, people look sometimes, he'll make a big play and everyone gets really excited. That's great, but it's are you an every down player? Can we even trust to put you in the game is the most important thing. He's working at that getting better.
How much this last year, the things didn't maybe quite go as he would expect they did, and he was hobbled, Joe Morrow, sorry. And how much does that kind of motivate him this year?
I think a bunch, but I think also last year, he knew, there were a lot of guys in front of him last year. And, so I don't know that he got those opportunities. And I think it's a much different deal this year. It's pretty easy when there's no pressure on you. Like in a situation like last year, hey, I can go up and make a play. It's no big deal because after I make my play, I got Chris Smith can go in for 4 plays to do all the right things, and then I can go try to make one play. Now he's the guy that has to do it right all the time.